Article: most men are single. Most young men are single. Most young women are not. Uh-oh, hello, major problem alert. Oh, we have some work to do. Yes, you see, when men sit on their butt and they don't assume the role of leadership, things tend to go awry.
B-Man sent tuition on Cash App.
Be man. And when we are not being a man, the society experiences problems. And we are now suffering as a result of our own shortcomings, mostly those of our fathers. They have failed. More than 60% of young men, 60% of young men are single, nearly twice the rate of unattached young women, signaling a larger breakdown of the social, romantic, and sexual life of the American male. And I would venture to say that America is showing what is to come in other nations. Now, number one, America is the producer of culture for the entire planet Earth. There's a place called Hollywood. We put out films, Netflix, and all the rest of it, and everyone watches it around the world. So we decide what culture is and which culture grows. The sad reality is that our poisons are infecting people around the entire earth. I've seen on TikTok, brother and sister on TikTok, they're part of the Maasai in Kenya, rural Kenya. They drive an hour to charge their cell phone so they can make goofy videos dancing. It's a pity. They expose themselves to filthy cultures from the West and think it's cool. Now, if we don't stop this poison here, the entire world will suffer. We are grooming the leadership class. You men are responsible. You can fix this. And let me tell you, it ain't going to be easy and it ain't going to be pretty and it ain't going to be peaceful. You see, because right now we have the matriarchy in charge. It's still a woman and her mentality that's running our society. Yes, it's white female liberalism that is running our society today. And I don't care if it's a white man, it's a black man, an Asian man, a Latina woman. It's all a white liberal woman ideology. We're going to talk about it. And it started long ago. We are suffering the consequences today of what has been brewing for some time. We're getting into it. I remember when I was a young boy in university, age 16, reading books from radical feminists like Valerie Solanas. Her book is linked in my description. It is a poisonous book that I do not believe in. I find it to be vicious, very hateful against men. It is misandrist. But you must understand it, for you must understand the enemy. We're getting into it today.
Carry on for a second.
Now, you might say, Marquett, I'm not a math genius, but how is it that 60% of young males are single, but only about 30% of young women are single? How's that add up? Well, it adds up real funny. You think when I mentioned the LGBTQ as a dangerous organization, you think that it won't affect you. You think you can live and let live. No, you cannot. Oh, a percentage of those women that were meant for you, a percentage of those women that are your natural pair, well, now they're laying down with other women. And in some cases, they're laying down with older men, sugar daddies. These women are living as prostitutes. Men in their 20s are more likely than women in their 20s to be romantically uninvolved. Oh, Marquette, how does that make sense? If A, we have this idea that women are not cheating, and B, we have this idea that, you know, the male and the female go together, shouldn't they have parity in terms of, you know, the number of men and women who are single? They should. Men in their 20s, more likely than women to be romantically uninvolved, which is to say single and getting no vagina. Sexually dormant. Oh, these guys are using some very nice terms. Sexually dormant. Dormant. That sounds like peaceful. I tend to become unpleasant if I ain't got no cootie cat. Friendless. God damn. Like you can't get abroad and you can't even find a male friend. These damn video games. And lonely. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say if you're sexually dormant and friendless, that would infer that we'd be able to, you know, deduce that you're lonely. They stand at the vanguard of an epidemic of declining marriage, sexuality, and relationships that afflict all of young America. Notice they didn't put declining morality. They didn't put declining civilization, declining culture. Let us understand that the average person is not a genius. They are not a thinker. They are not a thought leader, huh? They follow the culture. They follow what they are told to do. Why do most young people go to university? Because when you're in high school, they tell you that's the next step in the Western society. So that's what you do. You don't try to think through it and figure things out, huh? You look to your elders, you look to your parents, you look to the society, and you follow the beaten path. Well, today we have an ideology that has invaded the minds of both the male and the female. And I'll tell you what it has done to us. It has told the female that you are the same as the male. Huh? We're not talking about you should have equal opportunity. We're saying you're the same. You can do the same things. And they have grown to compete with the male. Huh? They want to earn just as much money. They want to wear the pants and talk like us. They want to be just as vulgar. And I can tell you guys one of the most unattractive things is that when you see a woman out in a bar and she's holding a bottle of beer, drinking a bottle of beer like a guy, oh, it's disgusting. There's just no femininity nowadays. I remember the suffragettes, they asked for the right to vote. Then they turned around, start smoking cigarettes. All of the differences between the male and the female, the male being a bit more brutish, masculine. We removed all of the qualities of the female, allowing her to appear as the male. There was a time where the female didn't wear pants, jeans, denim were working man's clothes, working man. There was a policeman, a male man. Now we have the male carrier, the police officer. We removed gender. You think it's a recent thing that they say that we're non-binary. This has been in gestation for a while, and you are now suffering the onslaught all at once.
Okay, we have Dylan came in on PayPal. He said many of these bras offer almost nothing to a man, yet want a Superman who only commits to her. Pure comedy.
Oh, it's absolute comedy, and it's a part of the delusion. Let us be clear that if you look at the bell curve of IQ, what it indicates to you and myself is that the male IQ tends to have more people on the ends, which is to say more on the genius side and more on the dim-witted side, whether we're talking about mental retardation, autism, or various other things that typically affect males more often, color blindness, all of these kinds of things. But we also tend to be geniuses more often, which is probably why we're better suited for leadership. One of the many reasons. We're also less risk averse. Now, women, they tend to have less on the ends, meaning they tend to not as often be completely brain dead, and surely not as often tend to be geniuses, especially if they look good. Now, they tend to more so be in the middle. They're competent. And that's why you find that when they go to school, they do really well at school because they're intellectually competent, and also the female nature makes it such that they can follow directions. And what is school other than following directions constantly? And school is designed around the human female. You learn in a feminine mode of learning in primary school. Sit down, don't say anything. If you need to say something, raise your hand. If you get up and move around, which is tactile, which is male oriented, you're in trouble. You've done something wrong. We're going to put you on an educational improvement plan, or we're going to miscategorize you as having some mental ailment that you really don't have. It's called being a boy.
We have Rob said, I think it's also due to the escapist tools young men have nowadays that is killing their drive to hunt for women in real life, video games, and also average women's delusional standards. Thoughts?
Some of these things are not the cause, they are the medication. So, for example, if you are a child raised on video games, a boy raised on video games, then certainly that may be the cause of some of your problems. But very few boys are raised on pornography. So pornography is probably not the cause of some of these problems they're having sexually or with women. It is the Band-Aid. It is the ineffective medication. It is the escapism, Yes, but both are dangerous, and I recommend that you free yourself of both. But the greatest issue is culture. It is a culture to where when I was in high school, it was shameful to watch pornography unless you was in it. You dig? If you was in it, beating it down, doing the Dougie, yeah, that's a beautiful thing. But ain't nobody want to watch another man's meat plowed his little broad. Yeah, it used to make you sick. Realize that we cannot be fighting on the team of the enemy. What does it look like that the people that enforce the laws around alimony, the laws, alimony, the laws around child support and all these other things. It's heterosexual men who are the police, who are in the army and the military. We're enforcing the laws that hurt us. Ludicrous. And I ain't talking about the Atlanta rapper. I was raised around some cold slores, you dig? Put a cape on them. Dun, 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 super thigh. They're tremendously wicked now. And here's the worst thing. They don't have any shame. And sometimes we have these super simps who tend to be with these women in actual relationships, knowing that she getting railed by every man or any man, the postman, the mailman, any man, dun, 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 dun. Any man can. You would think women's primary pursuit would be happiness. Yet they have been conditioned in this society to compete with the man, and their primary pursuit is finance, money. So they've become drunken in the pursuit of wealth and flaunting wealth. And the instrumentality of this is their social media. The Instagram is what has brainwashed her. Yes, and what's worse is that the female growing up, she has a unique experience with money in as much as she gets to go on the yacht when she's 20 years old in Miami. She didn't have to earn her way on. She just had to smile her way on. She just had to respond to a DM from an older man. She got to go on the yacht in Miami. She doesn't know what it costs to own or operate a yacht. She gets to stay 5-star when she's in Las Vegas. She gets to go to the Burj Khalifa when she's flown out to Dubai by a random baller. She doesn't know what any of this stuff costs, but she demands it because she's experienced it. And now she has an expectation for the guy that she's with. And the reason she's not dating a guy who's her age, she's 21, can't date a 21-year-old because a 21-year-old on average ain't making 6 figures. But hey, after all, she ain't been living a 6-figure lifestyle. She been living a millionaire lifestyle, because a low six figure lifestyle ain't gonna get you on a yacht. I promise you that.
Isaiah sent a cash app. He said, "What size is that canvas? I would like to order."
That's a good question. I think this is either the largest one. That looked like the largest one. That's the largest one on there. That's the largest one that's listed on the website. It's at sasnbrand.com. So these women don't understand money. And what they start to do is they're getting accustomed to a lifestyle that is the lifestyle of a millionaire, of which there are very few millionaires as a percentage of the population. And it's even more comical because in this era, we're always talking about the billionaire, though very few have a concept of how much money that actually is.
I just don't want Isaiah to order the wrong one. It's definitely not the largest one.
Oh, really?
The largest one is like the size of that artwork.
Okay, fantastic. We'll send him the link. Pop the link in there for the one he needs.
Well, Isaiah, just send me an email. I'll measure it when we're done because I don't know which one it is.
Settled. So they're pursuing money independently. They've also got to enjoy a free ride in a fancy car vis-a-vis sugar daddies. And now when they decide that they want to have a romantic relationship, which is generally too late in life, it's in their late 20s. Now they're dealing with a guy who probably is older because he's had time to accumulate money, because it takes time to accumulate money on average, unless you're a rapper or an athlete, of which there are few. And what's worse is that she slept with so many guys by then, her ability to pair bond is not there. She's had too much experience with heartbreak, sexual assault, date rape, drugs, dishonest men. And all of these things are merely reflections of her and the filthy lifestyle she's lived. And so then she comes to you, the guy who's around her age, maybe a little older, and bringing you used vagina, bringing you a bad attitude, bringing you a bruised and sensitive ego, bringing you baggage, and oh, don't forget, bringing you probably a baby from another guy. Like you wanted any of the above. Come on now. So they're unsuitable for marriage. And the worst thing is because they've been programmed to be career women, a boss babe, now they're getting married later in life. As a result of getting married later in life, they're having children later in life, if they even do have children. And the most damaging part of it is if they do have children, all of the femininity that they would need to raise the child as a good mother is not there, because they've spent all of their time practicing selfishness, which you might call narcissism, buzzword of the day. They've practiced being self-focused. Well, they might turn around and say, well, you, man, in the relationship, you're self-focused. You're focused on yourself. You're focused on making money. Oh, true, true, true. Let us not deny that. That's actually our nature.
Saint CB said, peace to the saints.
Peace of the saints. But what the woman is doing is she's emulating your nature. You're living out your nature and being natural. She's emulating your nature and being unnatural. And when you guys come together in this unholy matrimony, in this unnatural union, because it's not male and female, it's man and pseudo man. It's man and whoa man. And what happens is when the man is acting on his nature, which is by nature, we are less empathetic, less sensitive, more self-focused, more career focused. And when we earn all that money, we're willing to share it with our family because we are the natural leaders, protectors, and guides. Conversely, she's learned to focus on money just like we have. But the difference is she earns the money and wants to keep it for herself. Everything she gets, she wants it for herself. She has practiced and conditioned selfishness. And what kind of mother can you be when you're about to let an au pair raise your children? When you're about to let a nanny raise your children? You're about to let a nanny be a better wife than you ever could be. You're about to let other women supplement and fill in the empty gaps based on your lack of femininity because you didn't learn how to do laundry properly. You didn't learn how to cook and clean. You didn't learn how to be submissive and feminine. And here's the worst part about it, ladies. Pay close attention. You're all chasing the same 10 guys. What do I mean? Oh, this is what I mean. You didn't live this lavish lifestyle. Ain't a lot of guys got a yacht. And the ones who do, they probably smart enough to marry a woman that's not a thought. I repeat, not a lot of guys got a yacht. And the ones who do, smart enough to marry a chick who's not a thought. That being said, that guy got a main woman who's not you. Now you're an eternal side girl because all of y'all are chasing the same couple billionaires or multimillionaires because you feel like you're too good to date a guy who's actually on your level. Yeah. And all of y'all that went and got college educated, and now you can't date a guy who doesn't have a college education because in your sick mind, you have established that as a meaningful baseline, as though half these college degrees ain't complete rubbish anyway.
El 28 said, hello, Marquett. Which is better, trade school or college university?
Well, it depends on what you're pursuing. If you want to be a professor, you can't go to trade school and achieve that, generally speaking. So it depends on what your outcome is and what your timeline is. If you have a shorter timeline, I'd highly recommend trade school. If you've never liked being in high school, you probably would want to go to trade school. If you found high school to be unbearably boring and you never did your homework and you would be classified well as a bad student, you might want to go to trade school and you'd pick a trade that pays well, like mortuary science or welding, something like this.
Okay, we have Martin sent a cash app. He said tuition for the game.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Martin.
Carry on.
Back to these scallywags. Oh, I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. And I might have to make a pie chart at some point because let us understand the truth of things. In the pie chart, there's a percentage of women that are good. These are good women. They have good nature. These are the women that wouldn't have got Adam kicked out of the garden of good and evil. These are those women, the ones that wouldn't got him kicked out the Garden of Eden. Yeah, they're naturally good. Things are right with them. Maybe they were born that way. Maybe they had a good mother and father. There's that percentage, just a small percentage. And they don't look like IG models. They ain't got the surgeries. That's a part of their goodness. Then you have a percentage of women who are clueless. They're going to follow whatever appears to be the norm. They're going to follow the culture, the mainstream. And then you have a percentage that are wicked. Your IG models, your strippers, your street strollers, your OnlyFans girls, your sugar babies, Now, there is always a battle for influence among the good and the evil. What happens in our society today is that the evil population, which is actually smaller than the good population, are magnified by social media.
Okay, none of the above sent a PayPal, said hashtag tuition. I want this work.
Yes.
And then also, a selfish man is nature, while a selfish woman is an abomination.
Uh,
A vulnerable woman is nature, while a vulnerable man is abomination.
In the holy book of Galatians, chapter 8, verse 5. Beautiful. So these wicked women are having undue influence on the society. Who is the mascot? Kim Kardashian is the mascot. And I think I saw her 5 times today because every broad got the same surgeries. They all look like cousins. Huh? They all look like cousins, got the same nose, same lips, same fake hips, same big fake breasts, don't even move when they walk. I don't want it all stiff like that. But here's what I'm saying. The wicked Kim Kardashian is the mascot, the ringleader of female evil, and she has projected her image throughout the entirety of the world. How did this happen? It is up to us to say what is allowed in the society. I don't care if it's a Kim K, a Nicki Minaj, a Meg Thee Stallion, whoever the dirtbag of the day is, Doja Cat, Fat Rat, or Cat in the Hat, whoever the dirtbag of the day is, let us put them down. And it has been historically known that lest you put it down, the influence will rise. Yes, even the FBI had a program called COINTELPRO, and they had a specific mission to stop what they called the Black Revolutionary Messiah, and they had a number of characteristic traits that they were looking for, and they would make sure that they smashed every single one that rose up so that those black folks would stay down and stay under control. And it turns out that if you want things to go in a certain way, you must design the society. And we as males have set back for too long, and we've allowed the rise of a revolutionary thought. She's created a revolution. Yes, indeed. Now, when you say, Marquett, well, what do you mean? You have to control and keep them down. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because what happens is when a little girl sees a Kim Kardashian on television and she sees her getting all that attention, she wants attention as well. And she's not seen a positive example of how a great woman or a good woman pursues the attention of the one who matters to her, which should be her husband, her one man. A good woman lights up when her one man is pleased with her works, is pleased with her conduct, is pleased with her appearance. That is what matters to a good woman. A devilish, slithering, dishonest, unfaithful woman wants the attention of all. She wants to be a star in the spotlight. She is never satisfied. She is mentally unwell. And unless we hide her away on the surface of things to the immature mind, to the child, to the inexperienced youth, that looks glamorous and good, for the female does have an inclination to beautify. And are the thoughts not beautifying themselves with surgery and, makeup and all these other things? It would appear so to a simple mind, and a child is a simple mind. Yes, we must hide them away. And so I say to you, as a secularist, as someone who follows the ism, there's a lot we can learn from them boys in the Taliban. You did. There's a lot we can learn because we let these females get out of control, and look what has happened to us. Look what has happened to us. It went from you're the man of your land, you're the man of your home, who wears the pants, to, hey, slave, you go to work and work a 9 to 5, and we're going to steal 60% of your paycheck, and we're going to pay it to a woman that you're no longer with, who's not even spending it on your child, and she won't even allow you to see your child and be a father. You are now just a financial source from which she is extracting as though you are a slave. And slave might be the apt word, because if you stop working, you will experience violence through the government. Yes, it is violent when the police go and arrest you, because if you don't cooperate, what happens? Violence. And when they take you and put you into prison for not paying an amount of money that is probably too much, an amount that you didn't agree to, you probably didn't even agree to have the child in the first place, but send you to prison, what are you going to experience in prison? Violence. Huh? So they're enacting a violent system upon you. And here's the worst part about it. We are collaborating with the enemy in our own destruction. And when I say we, I'm not talking about black people. I'm talking about men of values, men of integrity, men of principle. And this is men around the world.
El 28 is back and said, thank you for all your expert advice. Out of all the people I have watched for advice about women or money, yours is the only one that's made a difference and impact in my life.
I appreciate that. And I'm very happy to hear that things are going well.
Carry on.
Saints, we're going to go as long as you want it. Then you have the aspect of sexuality. You see, there are those males who would say that they are homosexuals. And hey, God bless them. Hey, just stay over on that side. Hey, do what you do, little buddy. But stay on that side, little Nas X. Fine. Do what you do. Just don't promote it. That's why. Don't promote it. Because one thing I'm certain of, I don't believe in conversion therapy. You heard me. Once a dude then voluntarily took it up the patootie, he fruity. He ain't coming back. Ain't no conversion therapy about to work. And I don't care if you the one giving it out or the one taking it. You both ain't right. You ain't coming back. That's a strong decision as a male. That's a strong decision. But conversely, on the female side, when females deal with other females, that's not a strong decision at all. Women rarely make strong decisions. They're not decisive animals. They're not definite in their decision making. They're very whimsical. They're capricious. They kiss other women for attention. Listen to me. A female will kiss another female for attention. A female will kiss another female to please her man. They behave in ways that are frivolous because of motivations that are frivolous. When a female says she's bisexual, what she really means is she wasn't raised right, or she's confused, or she's experiencing mental struggles. I know a number of females that engage in lesbian behaviors and then tell me, but I would only marry a man. Why? Because you watch Disney movies and that's how it goes in the movies? But I would only marry a man. Well, then why engage in sexual perversion? The point is this. The women are lost and they do whatever is allowed and acceptable in the society, for they are not the moral leaders of the society. They, like the children, are to be ruled over, and law is to be established, not for them to object to, but to follow. And in the absence of law, they behave like animals. And we know that. That's why we accept them when they do these frivolous things. But we do not accept men doing frivolous things, right? Let's be real. Let's be real. You might deal with a chick who says she's bisexual, but would a chick deal with a man who says he's bisexual? No. I know females who engage in bisexual activities, but they won't deal with a dude who engages in bisexual activities, because still subconsciously they know that there is a such thing as a real man, and a real man does not dabble in certain behaviors and certain thinking.
Hey, we have Evan GD said, just tuned in, but those were the truest words I have heard all day. Only would have heard truer if I had read scripture.
Preach.
St. Ricardo, who already sent $100, is back and said, show continuance tuition.
Let's rock.
On Cash App, we have Hector is back and said, tabernacle, peace to the saints.
Peace to the saints.
Carry on.
I repeatedly tell you guys, be serious men. You know, so many people watching aren't serious. As people are watching, they've never once stood up as a man, made their name known. Not one time. Then they turn this off. They go watch a comedy show. They watch an entertainment show on YouTube. They watch some goofy babbling among fools and support that. That's why we're in this situation. Because you are not a real man. You're not a serious man. You call yourself a gamer playing games. Come on. What era are we in? Children play games. Thoughts play games. Men don't play games. Men might run games. We might run plays and run strategies, but we don't play games. Come on now.
Is that Tumblr on one of the sites?
It is. It is. I think this one is, let me get my link tree. Playing games out here. I want to see someone who has never supported the work support the work before I go. That's what I want to see.
While you're looking for that link tree, we have Darius said, if a woman's favorite scent on you is some other girl's scents, would it be unwise to bring a new woman around women friends or talk to other women for a bit during a first, second, or third interaction?
Nah, man, don't play. As I said, don't play games. Don't play games. Be yourself. All that 3 sentences Bible. Number 1, be yourself. Number 2, be good to yourself. Number 3, be good to good people. And what I mean by that is the following. Like, for example, if you're a charming person who just likes to enjoy and talk, do what you do. If you're a charming person, you're going to charm people around you. That's who you are. And in the midst of that, if you're with your lady and you guys are out and about living in the world and, some women show favor to you, she's going to see that and she's going to be able to understand and respect that because she understands that you have a magnetic personality. But what you should not do is to seek to play games and driving jealousy and this kind of behavior. That's not the way. So I wouldn't play any games. I would just keep it all real and makes your life easier because being yourself is the easiest thing to do. A lot of these guys call themselves pickup artists. They're nuts. They've read books and they're making up things, to be honest with you. They don't have significant experience. And the most important thing is that they're going to cause you to lose a good female because you're playing games. Just imagine you use the strategies from one of these pickup artists and you end up getting the girl that you want, right? And then she finds out that you're not who you presented yourself to be. You are just engaging in these strategies. And eventually she figures out, well, like, I don't like who you really are. I liked who you pretended to be. Because at the end of the day, what we all want, all of us human beings, both the male and the female, we want someone who really wants us for who we are. Like me, I'm the bald head lover. You dig? I don't want a woman who wants a guy who has braids, right? I want a woman who wants the bald head lover. I could go put on a wig with braids that looks realistic and go out and get a young chick. But at some point, that wig got to come off. You see what I'm saying? We can't live like women. Women present fake things to us. Yeah, they present fake things to us. That's not manly. Understand, this is a maxim I've shared before. Women lie about who they are. Men lie about what they have. Those are 2 lies that are gender-based, but one of them is deeply concerning, for there is much depth to it. To lie about who you are, that's a big lie. Oh, I've only slept with 2 guys when you really slept with 200 guys. Oh, this is my first time. Oh, I've never done this before. No, I would never do an OnlyFans. Oh, just because you shut it down, you think I can't find that out? Okay.
He said, this is before I've gotten the girl and locked her attention down.
So context is important. If you're dealing with a girl that you're going to see consistently in the same environment, you don't need to work a bunch of angles. The best thing you can do if you're going to see a girl consistently in the same environment is to establish capital in that environment, which is to say social capital. Women are creatures who are all about the community. So if you're popular in the community or well regarded in the community, that's going to have an impact on her. Also, consistency has an impact on the female. And another thing that has an impact on the female is a woman who's sane, which there's not a ton of. A woman who's sane, she doesn't actually want to be the center of your life or the center of your pursuits. She wants your goals to be the center of your life and the center of your pursuits. She doesn't mind you pursuing her, but she needs to know that she's not the greatest pursuit that you have. For strangely, in this human society, when someone is most thirsty, that's when we don't want to let them drink. That is the nature in the society, which is to say, think about it like this. A bank doesn't want to give you credit when you need credit. They want to give credit to people who don't need credit. The wealthy people are usually the ones who have the highest credit scores and generally also the ones who have the lowest need for credit. It's poor people that really want credit, right? But the bank ain't giving them credit. When you're thirsty, they don't want to let you drink. So the best thing to do is to not appear thirsty. And even better than that is to not be thirsty, which is to keep your cup filled. You dig? Keep your cup filled and keep it player and enjoy life and make the right moves and come at shorty straight. You dig?
Speaking of cups, we might have discontinued that one, but there's one with a different logo on it.
Okay, post it up for her. Yeah, I think I was going to redesign this one, actually make this a little bit smaller. So yeah, make a note for me. I'll get it posted up.
Okay.
Yeah. And one thing I want you guys to understand is when I give you ism, the ism is deep because it is very specific to situation, and the ism has depth to it. What these pickup artists are like, okay, do this, do that, say this, do this exactly like this. They use scientific determinism. Like if you say this, then she'll say this. And then if you text this, then she'll say this. That's not how life works, man. So be cautious of these corny characters.
Hey, Mike sent tuition.
Shout out to Mike. Good to see you.
Eddie sent tuition.
Shout out to Eddie.
Jay says, paying what I owe. Thanks for your time and knowledge.
Thank you very much for the compliment. I appreciate your support.
On Cash App, we have Juan said, tuition. Thank you for all the free game. Peace to the saints.
It's only free if they don't support it, huh? And one thing about being a man is you don't take nothing for free. Like, let that be my advice to you all as men. Don't take anything for free. That's what women do, and that's what children do. That's when you know you've crossed over into manhood. You pay what you owe. I really mean that. I've never been prouder to when there was a time I could pay all of my bills and have surplus. I was very proud to pay all of my bills. That's a proud thing. You should be happy to pay your bills. That's manly. There's women, they don't want to pay for nothing. They don't want to pay for nothing. Good Lord. I've heard situations of chicks, yeah, just come in me. And then they turn around like, I need $75 for the morning after pill. God, you can't pay for the morning after pill? God, you broke. So you telling me you would let your whole next 30 years of your life change because you ain't got $75? Whoa, you broke. Well, they ain't broke. They just don't want to pay for it. And that's sick and sad. And that's the actual female mentality. Yes, that's the female nature. Yes, it's true. It's true. They hate to spend, especially on you. Especially on you. They always feel like you owe something. The man lets go of $1 is gone. You forgot about it. Woman lets go of $1. She done kept track of every dollar in her mind, and she wants to make sure them books balance. Every relationship has hierarchy, and that is why I share age-old wisdom with you. I speak constantly of hierarchy. This is nothing new. Confucius said long time ago, there are the basic relationships of younger sibling, older sibling, subject, ruler, wife, king, hierarchy in each one. When someone doesn't understand their position, well, then things start to fall apart because you have one party that refuses to submit or be subjected to someone above them.
Alex said, tips on keeping a turbo thick Latina in the recreational use category only.
Oh, it ain't hard because here's the thing. You're in control of the category. You dig? She could say what she want. She can believe what she want. But you're the one in control of the category, huh? Yeah, the best advice I could give you is to go ahead and use a condom. But we know you ain't going to do that. It's okay. You get like that. Try your best to pull out if you can. Yeah, them Latinas is fertile, and we all know this. Use a condom. Try your best to pull out. Because at the end of the day, she's going to stay in that category based on how you manage it. She can't take herself and put herself in a different category. The only way she could do that is by stealing your seed. That's the only way. A professor writes, we're in a crisis of connection. Oh, this is true. This is very true. The young American man's social disconnect can have tragic consequences. Young men commit suicide at 4 times the rate of young women. Now, let me tell you what's funny about this. This is funny because women are always the ones talking about their emotions. Women are the ones who state more often that they're depressed. Why does their depression never turn into them actually getting the job done? Because as I said earlier, they're capricious, they're whimsical. They can't sustain focus on one thing, easily distracted, and narcissists. Oh, they love the self too much to take they self out. They rather just torture the whole world, but they ain't going to take they self out. They're going to talk about, they're going to complain, they're going to seek attention, but they ain't going to take themselves out because they're not decisive. A male, we are decisive. We say, hey, I don't like this life. I don't want to be here no more. Boom, we're gone. We're gone. But women, they stick around, complain, try to get what they want. When we start to suffer mental health issues most is when we are not living in a natural way. Human beings are social animals, which means that we should be in families and communities, and government has broken down our families, removed the fathers. And in some cases, when the father's still there, remove the masculinity from the father. That way, the father and the son don't relate properly, and the son doesn't regard the father, and the father's not able to lead him. Huh? And then we have all this technology that creates further separation. What kind of strange era are we in when everyone wants to work remotely? Oh, you don't want to go to the office and meet other people and build relationships? You want to be isolated in your small, stinky little 900 square foot apartment? That's normal. You there butt naked all day with your dog? That's normal. So you're telling me the kid grows up during COVID-19. He doesn't get to show up and go to school in person. He plays video games all day. Then he ends up getting a job where he works remotely, virtually never going outside to join sports teams, to exercise, or to make friends. Yeah, certainly he's going to be isolated. Yeah, for sure. And what you should know also, even if we didn't have all of these cultural flaws, the nature of the male versus the female is that we're less verbose, and we tend to have trouble relating to other males outside of goal-focused activities, which is to say two females could meet one another out in the public and say, oh, I like your nails. Where do you get your nails done? Oh, I go to such and such spa. It's great. Oh, we should go together. Let's get a pedicure. Oh, fantastic. Hug it out. Exchange Instagram. We're off to the races. We're fast friends. Why? Because I like your nails. Guys don't operate like that. I wish I would be out in the public and the cat is like, hey, bruh, I like your mustache. Who lined up your mustache? Oh, that's great. Let's exchange contact. We should go to the barber shop together. What? No, thank you. We don't operate like that as guys. Guys only really collaborate when we're on a team of some sort, like a sports team or a business team, and each of these teams must have a goal. The goal of the sports team is to win the competition. The goal of the business team is to make money. And so our friendship is a byproduct of the goal. It is not the goal. Conversely, with the females and the way they socialize as humans, the actual goal is the relationship. Females are not goal-oriented creatures, which is why you're often having trouble with them. You meet the chick and you're wondering, why does she keep responding to my text if she doesn't want to escalate the relationship? She doesn't want to go out on a date. She doesn't want to be seen in person. Why is she still messaging me? What's wrong with this nut? Well, what's wrong with her is she got time, and she's a female, and females like to communicate. It releases positive endorphins, neurotransmitters, serotonin, dopamine type stuff, and she feels good just from communicating and getting attention, even though there's no goal. The conversation has no goal. We're never going to meet up. You're never going to hit. There's not going to be a relationship. I'm just wasting your time. Why? Because I'm a woman and I got time. The American culture started to erode during the Eisenhower years when patriarchy started to die. Patriarchy used to be what dominated in America's homes, in our classrooms, and in our workplaces. But now, women are collecting about 60% of bachelor's degrees.
None of the above is back again.
Shout out to none of the above. He's a real one. Which means that in the near future, well, one, the income gap is already closed. It was small anyways, and low key, it was not an income gap that was ever real. Long story, but it's pretty much close. But it's about to open, and when the new income gap opens, it'll be switched around, which means women will be making more money than men because women are getting the university degrees, and the college degrees means that you're going to have higher earnings. By the way, shout out to the imbeciles on YouTube who tell you dumb things like, oh, don't go to college. College is a crock of shit. Well, it depends. You see, like, it depends. Like, I could tell you that women are worthless? Well, it depends. Many women are worthless, but there are some women that will change your life for the better. You see, it depends. But what is common, according to the data, and I know this because I've been in this industry on the tech side, on average over a lifetime, someone with a college degree will make $1 million more than someone without a college degree. And as it stands, females are over enrolled in college. And ironically, though they're talking about equality, they're not trying to close the gap that we have today, which is to say males are under enrolled. Huh?
Overwood said, "Peace to the saints. I'm talking with this LA chick that I met online, and I was informed that her best friend is with a black guy, and she wants to experience one herself. How would you navigate this?"
There's really nothing to navigate, just go ahead and do what you do and enjoy. You should know, number one, to start with, she probably has low IQ, because even a lily white girl who grew up in an entirely white, monolithically white community, she'd probably know a little better than to say, I just want to see what a black guy's like. That sounds a bit of a promiscuous girl. So this girl probably is not the most intelligent chick, number one, which means that you probably want to limit her and never elevate her to a main piece. And then and it's funny that she's in LA. It's really unusual to be from Los Angeles and have not been with a black guy. That's atypical. It's hard to believe she's probably lying low key. LA is probably the most accepting place on the planet Earth for interracial dating. In fact, I would even go as far as to say that it's a fad to date a black guy in LA. Shout out to Kim Kardashian, probably popped it off, you dig? But even girls who go to all girls Catholic white schools have dated and screwed a number of black guys. I mean, it's just hard not to have done. I don't really believe her, truth be told. Maybe she's talking about a dark-skinned black guy. Maybe she, I don't know. But I frankly don't believe her. So number one, she's probably a bit promiscuous, which is fine. Don't move her to the main piece, and just be yourself and enjoy. That's all there is to it. There's really nothing to navigate. She's just a run-of-the-mill dumb chick. Let us not let them take some of our natural advantages, and one of our natural advantages is violence. Don't let them remove that from us. What they're trying to do when they effeminize the male, they want to make you scared of conflict. They want to make you scared of using your own strength. They want to make you scared of utilizing violence to protect yourself, or to utilize aggression to get what you want and get what you deserve. And let you not, as a male, be run by a female. It doesn't make any sense. It's strange. I find it weird and comical when I see a woman, she's 5'2", 5'3", raising her voice at me. I'm like, who you talking to? Who you talking to? They need to respect power. You need to recover your power. I'm not saying lay your hand on a female, but I am saying if they feel like you can't lay your hand on them in any way, shape, or form, they tend to get crazy. I've been in countries where the women seem to be a lot more respectful, and I feel like in that country, that's because the pimp hand comes out a little bit more often. You dig? Yeah. And, they don't really call the police about the pimp hand. And if they do, sometimes the police be like, hey, that's your personal business. That's your personal business. Don't involve me in that. Don't involve the government in that. That's your personal business. Keep that in your tribe. You let your tribe deal with that. That ain't our business. See, what you guys forget is that government is supposed to rule over basic services, roads, bridges, national security. The government's not supposed to be in your home. If that woman decided to marry you, she's under your law. Your children are under your law. Now, if you're doing something heinous, yes, let the elders and the tribe handle this. But the government not supposed to be in your personal business. How does it make sense that the government decides how you take care of your child? The government decides how much money you spend on your child. It's ludicrous. You know why women are liberal? Because they require big government so that they can have power. They require big government to reach into your home to control you. They require an overfunded government to have more control over you. That's why one of the many reasons women are liberal.
Walton just placed an order on Sasson brand. He got, I believe, the shirt that you're wearing, which he got all the other
shout
colors.
out. We stitched up out here. We don't screen print it. We stitch it. Yeah,
and he
go
also
ahead.
got one of the canvas sources of power.
Oh, indeed, indeed. And that's all factual right there. That's all factual. Man, I'm telling you that you must have fighting spirit. I'm telling you that you must be organized. I'm telling you that you must take action, that we are in revolutionary times. I'm telling you that the government is rotten. It's here to hurt you. This is why the beta males are winning. Listen to me. One of the things about the alpha males is dominance. It's the ability to exact violence. It's the ability to not yield to violence. Oh, ooh, uh-oh. Bravery. Yes. In this society, the beta male is winning because the alpha male, we get demonized. They demonize us, then they lock us away in a Romanian prison. They demonize us, they lock us away in a Romanian prison. They demonize us, they make our natural strengths into bad things. They call it toxic masculinity. Huh. How is masculinity toxic? Masculinity is natural, but they call it toxic. And who's the most masculine? It's the alpha male. They demonize us. And then they have the weak little beta males who, in regular circumstances, would never get the female. Listen to me. They would never get the female in a normal circumstance, in a state of nature. Let me explain why. In a state of nature, small government, a woman having a man matters a lot more. Why? Because her man is her protection, not the police. Her man is the protection. Listen to me. You have a lesbian couple. They're in a house alone. They hear a rumble downstairs. Who goes downstairs to check? Oh, let's go downstairs together. We're equal. Hey, LGBTQ, let's go downstairs together. Check the rumble. See what it is. Now, even though one of the lesbians tries to look like a little boy, young Ma, young May, even though one of the lesbians looks like Kodak Black, she's still a female. So they both go downstairs. In the back of their minds, they're both terrified because this guy who's about to break into the house, well, he's about to get a 2-for-1, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. 2-for-1. I can take both of you. I'm going to take all of your valuables, and then I'm going to take all of your bodily valuables, if you know what I mean. Mike Tyson style. Huh? Yeah, you both should be scared because you ain't safe together. 2 women. I got a 2-for-1. Yippee! In a state of nature. The lesbians wouldn't want to live together by themselves with no police force because they're not safe. They're just 2 females. In a state of nature, a woman living in a home with a man is thankful that the man is home and doesn't even really like to be without him because she might be overcome by another man, a ruthless man. In a state of nature. In a state of big government, unnatural, big government, strangers. Well, with big government, then the lesbians can live together and feel a little more safe, even though they're not really safe. Because if I bust into their home right now, I can do what I want to do. The government got to get me on the back end, but they ain't going to be able to prevent it. But they have the illusion of safety in big government. And in a big government situation, the strong man is demonized because he's a threat to government. So lock him in a Romanian prison. And the weak man is all that's left. And the men who would be strong, the boys who would grow into strong men, they're taught to be weak or to appear weak so that they're not demonized and ostracized and cast out. And so they behave and they groom up weak males, and the weak males cower and bow down to the female so that they can lay with them and sleep with them. And the female is willing to deal with the beta male because they feel somehow dominant, like they're achieving their culturally programmed goal to be the man, to be the earner, the provider, the leader. And they got this weak little beta male as a trophy, as a statue. Yeah, that's how the beta male gets to the female. And then, of course, you have the lesies, the ones that are completely lost and confused. And then you have beta males writing articles like this Greg Matos fellow, who's a psychologist, which, mind you, is a pseudoscience. And we know that this is increasingly pseudo in as much as their book of mental ailments changes so frequently nowadays, and they don't even bother to write a scientific paper anymore. They just pick and choose what is sane and what is insane. And they even try to pathologize things that are not pathologies. Yes, they pathologize things like they say you're homophobic. I've never met anyone who was actually scared of gays. A phobia is fear. It's an irrational fear of something. People who they call homophobic, they're not scared of gays at all. I don't find gays to be intimidating. I actually find them to be quite comical. They're very stylish, comical individuals, very entertaining. I'm not scared of them. I laugh at them. I'm not scared. I mean, that's ludicrous. But they pathologize, which is to use the language of medicine to make their claims more legitimate and to make you appear crazy. Because if you don't agree with them, you're crazy. Now let's stay with this ism. Their expectations are unrealistic. Every woman wants a guy that's 6 foot tall. That's above average height. Women have unrealistic expectations. Let me share the lunacy of the female in today's society. The lunacy. Females will say things like, well, you have to be at least 6 foot. How tall are you? Are you above average height for a female? I'm 5'1". That's not above average height for a female. You're below average, but you want a guy that's above average. Okay, cool. Then you get a girl who is above average height. Say she's 5'7". Great. I want a guy who's 6'2". Why? Why not 6 foot? That's well above your height. 6 foot, you're 5'7". 6 foot is well above your height. Yeah, but I like to wear heels. You imbecile. You're standing on stilts. That's not your height. It would be one thing if you were like naturally 6'1", but if you're standing on stilts, that's not your height. So I want a guy who's taller than me. You fool, you're 5'7". A guy who's 6 foot is taller than you. Standing on stilts, that doesn't mean you're taller, idiot. That just means you're going to have physical problems in old age because you walk around on stilts for days on end. So my point is this. The female does what's common. You go to Africa, they walk on stilts. You go to Europe, they walk on stilts. You go to Asia, they walk on stilts. You go to the Middle East, they walk on stilts. Women, they just follow after what the other women do. And when men lead the society, they do what we allow them to do. Yes, we have to put limits on things, lest they go crazy. We have to put limits on things. First, it's makeup. Oh, now for makeup, now it's surgery. What's next?
Jordan said, peace to the saints. Keep up the good work.
Sir, yes, sir. We have to put limits on things. Personally, I don't like makeup at all. I revile surgery. I don't like makeup. I revile surgery. You must put limits on these things, lest they will destroy themselves. Women will self-destruct. Completely unstable creatures, lest we stabilize them.